Hi, I'm Jodi Guerra with Excelsior Classes, and this is another installment of Book Banter, a video blog in which we tell you what you should be reading next. And today's theme is romance or love stories. That's a little bit unusual for me because I don't tend to gravitate towards the romance aisle, but I do have a few recommendations, and I hope that you'll like them. The first of which is this little gem here. It's by M.L. Stedman, and it's called The Light Between Oceans. Now, this was recently made into a movie not too long ago. I cannot comment on the movie. I did not go to see it. The reason I did not go to see it is because this book literally wrecked me. It's the story of Tom Sherborne and his wife, Isabel, who live on the western coast of Australia at a lighthouse. And it's a very isolating kind of environment for them. They are all alone, and Isabel suffers through a series of miscarriages. One day, a lonely lifeboat type of vessel arrives on the shore there, and inside of this boat is a deceased man and a tiny baby whom Tom and Isabel keep for themselves. And this is the story of that unraveling. I will tell you that the reason I loved this book was that I felt that the characters were so relatable. I just became so involved in their story, and it seemed like all of the characters one could have empathy for. And so I just really loved it. But again, I just could not go see the movie. So if you go see it, let me know what you think about it, okay? So that's one book. Another one is by the most awesome British writer, Kazuo Ishiguro, and it is The Remains of the Day. And this is one that was also made into a movie. It starred Sir Anthony Hopkins and Emma Thompson, and I just love them. This book, though, is even better than the movie. And the reason that I believe it's better is that Ishiguro has such a way with prose that there is this underlying tension that fills the novel. I don't think it translates as well to the screen. In any case, this story follows a butler who is in service at one of those estate homes in England following World War II. And so it's really kind of the decline of that lifestyle. And we see this man who has spent his whole life in service. His father was in service before him. And so we just see it's just such a contrast between the butler and his relationship with his dad, his relationship with the housekeeper played by Emma Thompson in the movie. But in this book, there's just, you're cheering for them like, okay, come on, and we know you like each other, but you're wondering what's going to happen. I loved this book. I just felt like his writing was just so vivid, and he really captured just that post-World War II Britain. And that's something that the next writer also is very good at, capturing an era of time, and that is this book. And it is called Rules of Civility, and it's by Amor Towles. Now, this particular book, picture like F. Scott Fitzgerald writing about 1930s New York. I think that what Fitzgerald did for the age of the flapper and the roaring 20s is really what Towles does here in this book. It's amazing to me how really vivid he is able to portray Manhattan and New York inside of that Great Depression. And this story follows our heroine, and her name is Katie Content, and she has a romance with a young man named Tinker Gray. This book is full of plot twists, and the ending is a bit of a surprise. It is told in a flashback sort of form, so we see Katie much later in life, kind of at an art gallery looking back. And then we are kind of drawn back almost like through a wormhole to her as she's a young 20-something living in New York. Now, this is a book that I think is probably one more suited for kind of mature readers. There's a few scenes in this that I think, parents should use discretion on giving, to their child. This isn't 50 Shades of Grey or anything like that, but just, be aware of that. I loved the book, loved it, and I'm very excited to read his next book. It's on my nightstand. And then finally, I want to recommend this one by Charles Frazier. Now, Charles Frazier, I think he's only written 2 books. This is the first one. It's a National Book Award winner. It is just phenomenal. This is the story of 2 people in the Civil War. The story takes place in North Carolina, and our young gentleman goes off to fight in the war, and he spends much of it trying to get back home to his beloved, while she is at home trying to take care of her father's home. He is a minister there in that area. He ends up passing away. And how is one to survive in such a state of turmoil and anxiety and, frankly, danger? And so this book is just really, it's a lovely, lovely work. The prose is lyrical and haunting. I believe this one was also made into a movie starring Jude Law and Nicole Kidman. I remember when it came out, I thought, do we have no American actors from the South that might be able to portray these people in North Carolina? But I will say that for the movie, that there was some symbolism that translated very well from the book into the movie, and you'll have to see if you can catch that. But again, this is another one that I would recommend, Charles Frazier's Cold Mountain. Great Southern writer, and I hope that you will check out all of these. Be sure to subscribe to our channel as we have more book recommendations for you coming out. Thank you, and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.